What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins offseason. I know some of you guys are probably going to be thinking this is a little bit early to be talking about this, and it kind of is. We're really only about the halfway point in the season, but I am starting to begin my draft process. So, this does need to be discussed. We need to start thinking about these things now before it's right upon us. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into it. As you can see, I've got the contracts pulled up on screen. I've got our cap space pulled up for 2021. I've got people that are looking to be free agents pulled up. And I've got our draft picks pulled up. Now we might end up with some comp picks here and there. We'll see how that goes. A lot of this stuff is subject to change, especially the free agents. But, yeah, I just figured this would be a good spot to start talking about this and start getting this conversation going. So right off the bat, the first position we got to look at is quarterback. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa is our starter moving forward, so we don't have to worry about that. He is the quarterback of our future, whether we like it or not. So we don't have to worry about that right now. We've got him until 2023. But our backup quarterback position is something we need to talk about. We do have a couple guys on the practice squad, but I'm not trying to have Jake Rudock be our backup quarterback next year. That sounds like a bad idea, especially with Tua having a history of injury. If Ryan doesn't retire and he's willing to come back for a reasonable price, I'd be more than happy to have him. I don't know if I'd want him for $8 million again, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, whether we re-sign Ryan or we pick up a free agent or we draft a guy late, we just need to address that spot. Let's go ahead and look at quarterback. We're going to look at backups specifically. Tyrod Taylor might be something to look at. AJ Mccarron would be something to look at. Let's look at unrestricted free agents. That's what we're looking for here. AJ McCarron, like I said, if we could get him for cheap, that would not be a bad backup to think about. I wouldn't mind spending like maybe this our 7th round pick on a quarterback, but how good would he be at that point? Like, I don't know if that's worth it. I'd almost rather re-sign Ryan, but we don't even know if he's going to retire or not, to be honest. So we'll see how that goes. But that's something we need to address one way or the other. Moving on to running back. As you can see, Matt Breida will be an unrestricted free agent next year. We only have him for this season. If it's me, I'm not that interested in re-signing him, to be honest. I'm not trying to pay him. If we could shop off Jordan Howard somehow, that'd be great. If not, I guess he can continue to be a short yardage back. $5 million isn't too bad for that. That just kind of is what it is. We've got Lynn Bowden and Malcolm Perry, which I kind of see them more as receivers than running backs, but whatever. We got Patrick Laird for another year, and of course we got Gaskin until 22. So, I kind of want to address this position. I'm trying to let Matt Breida walk. I don't know. Let's see. We got 2, 6, a 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Maybe one of these picks. Maybe look at running back. I think that might be something to look into. I don't want to pick up a free agent. I'd rather draft a guy, to be honest. I don't know, because I'm kind of looking for a starter, or at least a rotational guy with Myles Gaskin, maybe Jordan Howard if we can't ship him off. So, yeah, I want to address that spot. Let's see. Receiver. Let's see. We got Jakeem Grant and Devontae Parker until 2023. Jakeem Grant, that's kind of whatever. We still got Albert Wilson and Preston Williams for next year, so that's good. I want to try to re-sign Preston. Matt Collins and Isaiah Ford can walk, honestly. I'm not really that upset about that. Allen Hurns, I don't care about Allen Hurns, to be honest. He opted out. That's why you're seeing this. So, yeah. Not really concerned there. Yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about with receiver? I kind of want to maybe address receiver. I wouldn't mind drafting a guy late. Maybe we have 2 6th-round picks. Maybe get a receiver there. It doesn't necessarily have to be great, but yeah, maybe address receiver a little bit. Because I'm trying to let Matt Collins and Isaiah Ford walk. I'd probably just cut Allen Hurns. I'm just not interested in keeping him around. We have 2 big-bodied receivers in Preston Williams and Devontae Parker, and they're both better than him. Yeah. But receiver isn't one of the positions I'm really highlighting here. Tight end. I'm not trying to touch tight end. If anything, I want to try to re-sign Mike Gesicki at some point because I'm not trying to let him walk in 2022. But we did just extend Adam Shaheen's contract, so I'm happy about that. We've still got Smythe for another year, so I'm not trying to pick up another tight end. I'm trying to leave this just the way it is, honestly. Yeah. Offensive line. This is where things get a little bit more complicated. Let's see. So, Ted Karras, our only true center, will be a unrestricted free agent after this year. We need to address center for sure. Now, if he wouldn't be too expensive, I wouldn't mind extending his contract for a year or two, depending on the price tag he's looking for. But we might have to draft a guy. I'm not trying to pay big money for a center. If anything, center is the one offensive line position you can kind of hide a little bit. I'd rather draft a guy, even if it's not like first round. Let's see. But Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, and Solomon Kinley, I feel good about, and we have them until 2023. So I feel good about left tackle. This is my mind. We've moved people around, but this is where I would start them. Left tackle, right guard, left guard. That's where I would play them. I'm not that big a fan of Eric Flowers. Definitely do not like the price tag he has. If we can get rid of Eric Flowers, honestly, I'd be all about it because I ain't trying to pay him $10 million. I don't think he's that good of an offensive lineman. I just don't. I don't think he ever has been. I think he plays really high. I've talked about Eric Flowers. He's not completely trash, but he's not worth the price tag we're paying for him. But we might have to just hang on to him for now, depending on what happens. Because I kind of think we need to address right tackle. Because I am not a fan of Julian Davenport. I can't stand Jesse Davis. If you watch my channel, you know I cannot stand Jesse Davis. I am definitely trying to get a right tackle this year. 100%. I can't stand him. I want to get rid of him no matter what we have to do. I can't stand him. So, in my mind, for sure we need to address center. There's no doubt about that because we just won't have one otherwise. We need to do something about center. Defensive line. Is edge a separate thing here? No. Okay. I guess I'll kind of have to do this, though. Look at defensive line and linebackers together. Yeah, because see, you got Kyle Van Noy. He's more of a pass rusher. Same with, like, Sam McGuavin. But, okay, let's get into this. Shaq Lawson, we've still got till 2022. We still got Emmanuel Ogbah next year. Wilkins, we've still got, and we've still got that 5th-year option in 2023. We'll get to this in a second. Raekwon Davis, we still got till 2023. We've still got Zeiler. We still got Strobridge. Ledbetter, we still got it for another year. I want to address D-line for sure. Miami does kind of some 4-3 and 3-4 things. When we're in 3-4 sets, I do like Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis at the 3-4 defensive end spots. 4-3 in real life, I'd like to have Christian Wilkins at 3-tech. But the big elephant in the room is right here. Devon is a free agent after this year, and I ain't trying to re-sign him unless he's trying to sign for cheap. I feel like you can get a nose for relatively low draft grade. I think you can find a big-ass heavy dude to sit in the middle somewhere in the draft. I feel like we can address that elsewhere. I'm not trying to re-sign him personally. Ideally, I'd like to find a guy that can play 1 and 0 because of our scheme. That'd be great. I'm not that far into the class yet, so I don't have anybody in mind just yet. Same with all the positions. I still got to look at way more people before I can say what players I want to target or anything like that. But, yeah. That's something we absolutely need to address. I want to get an edge rusher as well. Let's see. Linebacker is where things start to get really ugly. We've got Kyle Van Noy. He's an edge rusher until 2023. So that's something. We've got Jerome Baker next year. Van Ginkel we've got. But after that, all these guys are people that might walk. We need to address linebacker and edge. Granted, we've already known that we needed to address edge. That's been something that has been painfully obvious this year that we need to address edge rusher. But overall, our linebacker core needs to improve. And we need depth guys as well at this point. Because I'm not trying to re-sign too many of these people to big contracts. If Landon Roberts wants to stay for cheap, I'd be interested. I'd like to look into re-signing Jerome Baker sometime. Probably next year, but yeah, we definitely need to address linebacker for sure. That's going to be a position of interest for the draft for sure. Secondary. So, right off the bat, corner, not really something we need to worry about too much. I'm not trying to get a corner. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard, of course, we just signed them to big contracts. We just drafted Noah. So we've got him until 2024 because he's a first round pick, so he has that 50-year option. Safety, we have Brandon Jones until 2023. So he's a strong safety to me. You can say he's a free safety, but he's a strong safety to me. Ideally, he would be our strong safety. We still got Eric Rowe and Bobby McCain on contract, so I wouldn't mind addressing safety if something falls to us, but I don't think this is our biggest concern. I think our defensive backcourt is one of the better parts of our team. If a good safety falls to us, especially a true rangy free safety, I would definitely be about taking that. Because I would move Brandon Jones to strong safety and then just get a good free safety. That would be the move for me. Now, as far as depth at corner and like dime packages and stuff like that, we will. Nick is going to be up. Jamal Perry is going to be up. I'd probably let Jamal Perry walk for sure. If Nick wants to sign for cheap, I'd be interested in doing that. Maybe. But also, I feel like we can replace him pretty easily. I feel like we can let him walk and get him with like the 7th round pick, or honestly even an undrafted free agent maybe, kind of like he was. I feel like we can replace Nick Needham. I wouldn't want to pay him too much. Kayvon Frazier can walk too. I don't care about him. We don't got to worry about long snapper this year, or for a while. We got him till 2023, so there's that. Jason Sanders, we've still got for another year. I'd probably like to extend him. We do got to address punter. Matt Hawk, we're going to lose after this year if we don't re-sign him. We got to figure out what we're going to do there. I'm not trying to draft a punter. Undrafted guy at worst. I ain't trying to draft no punter. But if we can re-sign him for cheap, I wouldn't be against doing that either. As far as dead cap, after this year, we will no longer be paying anything on Rashad Jones, Rosen. Like, we'll be losing so much dead cap that we're having to deal with right now. We will still have a little bit on Balaj, Weaver. Yeah, we still got a little bit of dead cap to worry about, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like the $10 million that we're dealing with this year, or $5 million here, $5 million here. Like, nothing crazy. The worst we have, yeah, Curtis Weaver. So, yeah, I think things are starting to look up a little bit. As far as our cap space goes, we're looking to have about $35 million available in cap space in 2021. That's 9th overall in the league. Jacksonville, holy shit, $87 million. Wow, that's a lot of cap space. But we're looking pretty good there. So, I mean, I'm not trying to spend too much of that, but we can definitely pick up some of our guys with that money. So there is that. As far as free agents go, what about center? Let's take a look at that. Alex Mack, Mike Pouncey. I ain't trying to re-sign Mike Pouncey. Yeah, no. If we're re-signing a guy, I'd just re-sign Ted Karras, to be honest with you. Linebacker. Let's take a look at that. Nothing really sticking out to me, to be honest, that I'd really want to jump on. What about outside linebacker? I'm not trying to spend that much money either. I'm not trying to make a big splash in free agency, honestly. Let's look at edge. Because, like, you got Dupree and stuff like that. Leonard Williams, cool. But I'm not trying to make the big splash. Like, $15 million, I'm not trying to spend that type of money. Yeah. As far as our draft picks, though, because this is going to change a lot. Most of these guys are going to get re-signed anyway, so we'll see. But as far as our draft picks go, we have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds this year. We have our own pick, we have Houston's pick, and Houston is terrible this year, so we're probably going to have a good first and second round pick from them. And then, like, we're not fantastic either, but we're not garbage. So we'll have whatever we have. So we'll be looking pretty good there. Then we have our own 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We have 2 6th-round picks, one from Pittsburgh, one from Seattle, and then we have a 7th from Atlanta. And, of course, Atlanta is pretty bad, too. So, I think our draft picks are pretty good. But I think this is a good start and a good place to start this conversation. So, overall, I'm trying to address quarterback, backup quarterback. I want to address running back depth. Maybe receiver. So I'll give that like a half. Maybe re-sign Gesicki, but nobody new. Offensive line, we definitely have to do something about our center situation, and I'm trying to get a right tackle as well. I definitely want an edge, and we need a nose. We need linebackers up the ass. If a good safety falls to us, like I said, I wouldn't mind a safety. Picking up a corner somewhere, even if it's an undrafted guy, I wouldn't mind doing that. But besides that, I'm not really worried about our DBs too much. And we do need to address punter. That's just a quick run through. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.